Hey everyone, welcome back to the Fun to Trader YouTube channel. Today we have a special guest all the way from the UK. He just scored another $50,000 funded account. Without further ado, please introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, my name's Brandon Wood. As said, I come from the UK in a small city called Doncaster.
Don't even know a clue where that might be, but where is it I know it's the general region, there's a game called GeoGuessr. So I played a little bit of that, but as
Fair
far
enough.
as exactly where that is, I have no clue. Is it on the west?
South side, most people know Sheffield better. Basically neighbours with Sheffield Steel City. So I suppose it's a proud landmark.
And what's your educational background?
So I did go to uni. I studied music while I was at uni, playing percussion. I only did a year though, and then ended up dropping out.
And what instrument was that?
So mainly drums, but I did a little bit of percussion here and there as well, like glocks, triangle, all the odd.
I mean, piano is a percussion, as they say, percussion string, but it's like a hybrid. I play the piano as well, but
Yeah,
so my brother's a drummer, so we need those drummers for the rhythm. Without them, we're nothing.
some say that.
Yeah. And what do you do for work?
So for work, I am a part-time prison officer. With my spare time, I basically just trade essentially in the free time. So, which is not, I can't complain at that.
So how did you actually start out in forex?
So started off roughly about 3 years ago. Um, I saw a friend doing it. And I thought it was something worth getting into. Started off just with paying for signals, following trades of other people. Made some money, lost some money. It's not really something you can do full time. About a year and a half ago, I took the opportunity to pay for a course, learning to do it by myself, and I've pretty much just been going on there on my own since, really.
So how long did it take from start to finish, essentially, to getting funded?
So I started trying to get funded probably about I tried 2 years ago. Again, I wasn't really sure of what I was doing by myself then. So I didn't really do so well in that. So I took a little break from trying to be funded. Then just did off my own account, and then I probably got my first funded account roughly about a year ago, which was, yeah, it was quite an achievement to be fair, to be able to say I'd got that after 2 years roughly, like learning to trade. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as when I started, the journey to achieving a funded is it is such an achievement. Like you feel like
Mm,
you've conquered, the world. Like
yeah,
spending all those days, even almost 24/7, you're just grinding and you're trying to capture every pip you can that the market will give you. It's like
yeah,
the relief that you feel once you finish like a challenge or just a phase, like I don't know, there's something about that, like you worked so incredibly hard and now you're there. So
yeah. No,
congrats
definitely.
to you, man, and just keep on pushing forward. But how did you actually hear about the funded trader?
To be fair, I saw you guys on Instagram originally, the Funded Trader. I saw one of their promotions, to be fair, and I was looking for someone who offers more opportunities. So found you on Instagram, started having a look a bit more, and obviously realised like the rewards that you get for being profitable every month and stuff like that. So I was like, well, I've got a track record of being profitable every month, so I'll give them a go.
Yeah, because some people start out when they don't have any track record. They're just like, hey, let me try to weasel my way through the market. But, the market always takes its prisoners. It's not gonna allow you to get through. Even if you do make it through all the way,
Yeah, it does.
what's the chance that you're gonna, come out on top? Because the market is so ruthless. Like, you
Yeah,
have to be so consistent, so sure on your rules and your risk management. Like, without
definitely.
those things, it's almost impossible to actually make it big in the market.
Well, yeah, definitely. As I say, the market's just so unpredictable, and it can, at certain times or events, can become such a volatile pair. Even the most experienced of traders will find issues within the market. It's just not that predictable.
Yeah. How do you feel about the funded traders community?
To be fair, I've got to be honest, it's probably one of the best communities I've been in. Even one of the most welcoming. When I first joined the community in Discord and that, even just posting trade ideas and getting feedback off people, it's nice to sometimes just have extra comments from someone else, essentially an outlook. To even when I passed this funded account, like the amount of people that were saying congrats and stuff like that, it's nice to have such a warm community of people who are there wanting to achieve the same things between you all. It's better than being in a community where people feel like they've got to be against each other or you're trying to be better than them, when in
Mm.
actual fact all there for the same reason, which is just to become profitable traders.
Yeah, that's what's really cool. Like, everyone is striving towards the same goal, and everyone is getting there at their own pace and
Yeah,
at their own, like, actual level. Like, obviously there are better or worse traders in a group of given people, but everyone is striving towards the same thing and wants the same thing. And to
yeah,
see people getting these payouts and, like, the most this week is like crazy because we had not only the biggest payout ever, like 121K, and then right after the next guy, $138,000 payout. Like, it's so inspirational because you can achieve that if you just go diligently. And I mean, obviously there's risk to take because every trade you're taking a risk in the market. You're exposing yourself to the risk that the market provides, but it's inspirational. Like, you can
yeah,
look at those profits, and it doesn't have to be 100K. Like, even making 5,000, like 2,000 extra than
yeah.
what you're doing, or if it becomes your full-time job, per month you're making 10,000 from trading. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, there's no better job. You press one button on your
Yeah.
phone, and then that's
Do it.
what's
Work.
better than that. You've accomplished something that would have taken you hours
Yeah,
working some other job. And truly, trading is just such a blessing.
yeah, it is.
But what is your favorite part about the funded trader?
um, to be fair, I think I think it's the reward schemes that they have. Not schemes, because it's not schemes, is it? It's the general rewards that they offer. So, like the promotions, like how many people can say that there's a group that are willing to say, right, if you'll pay us in crypto, we'll give you 90% payouts plus 120, like more refund than what you've actually paid.
Yeah.
Uh, the competitions that they have, like again, you taking people to the FX summit, which is it's not exactly a cheap holiday or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
expensive, but it'd be such a rewarding thing to go to. And again, it's the small stuff like that. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that again is what makes a community. There are other opportunities within the group which other people won't provide or even think about offering. Um, I think that's the best part about it is they offer extra opportunities as well as just funded accounts as well.
Yeah, because I mean, other platforms, who's doing the giveaways like this, like at this scale? Like, there's a chess tournament every week and someone's winning something. Like, me over here moving the knight backwards and forwards in instead of in an L shape. But meanwhile, there's guys that are winning these chess tournaments every week and getting, free discounts, free accounts. Like, The amount of different giveaways and things, that Easter egg hunts, like
Yeah,
everything the company is doing to give back to the community, it's like it's truly a testament to, the people who built it, because they are traders. They know what traders go through and how hard it is to achieve an account. And so it's really good, and it just feels good that a company would be so caring for the common trader.
yeah, no, definitely, 100%.
And what do you wish you maybe did differently in your journey?
Honest, I think it's definitely got to be. I've just got to. Well, I think the biggest one is I've got to trust my own system. It's every trader will go through this, and every new trader will face this at some point. And you'll work on a strategy, and you'll do it on a demo to start off with, because obviously while you're learning, you're not going to risk your own money. Or if you do, that's fair enough. But I was doing a lot of practicing on a demo, and I'd built my system up, and I was easily getting 30 to 50 pips every trade. Like that was the system I'd built. If I could get 30 pips a trade, 30 pips a day, I was happy with that. But then when it came to using my own money or trying for my funded accounts, I'd not trust my own system. I'd just be that little bit on the edge of be like, is that going to work? Is it? I'm not sure. And so again, I'd leave it off my personal funded account, do it on the demo on it, and work perfectly. And I'm like, why do I even question myself?
Yeah,
I think,
honestly,
yeah,
because something about the fear, like the fear takes over. Like you have a good system, you have good risk management, you're doing everything right. And then when it comes time to trade on a real account, like you eh, you don't even want to open a trade because you're already thinking you're gonna lose. Like, yes, there's a chance you can lose. Obviously, you open a trade, there's a chance you can lose the
well, yeah,
position,
it's
but
50-50 instances at the end of the day.
it can
It's
only go up or down. It's not like there's three dimensions. You have to guess where it's going in the entire quadrant. No, it's like it can go either up or down. And if you have a system, you're gonna lose. There's no other way to go about it. Just enter the trades, follow the plan, and if you have a good system, you'll know at the end of the month, or just you'll know the result after working with that system for a while. So just to all traders who are suffering out there from this fear, just get over it. Just enter trades. If you're fearing entering, that might mean that you are over leveraging. You're risking too much. That I'm afraid to lose. Just lower your risk by like 50%, 80%, and just enter trades and look at your results. If you are actually losing every trade, well, reevaluate what you're doing. But if you're winning, then just increase your risk to the normal risk amount, like 1%, half a percent, and just go from there. That way you can win, just like our newest trader here.
pretty much it. Take the advice in, 'cause he's not wrong. He's not wrong whatsoever.
Um, and what is a hard lesson that trading has taught you?
I think one of the hardest lessons it's taught me is not to get too emotionally attached to your account. At the end of the day, we know as a trader that there are going to be risks. We've got to be prepared to lose trades as well as winning. We can't win every trade at the end of the day. We are human. I think when you can come to terms with the fact that it's okay to lose a trade, as long as you're doing what you're doing every day, you will outweigh your losses easily. It's okay to have a loss every now and then. I used to find that in my early days when I'd lose trades, I'd get too emotionally attached and then I'd overtrade. And then I'd have more losses because I was getting angry, I was getting mad. So I was trying to overcompensate for something. Whereas I'd lose a trade and I'd go, right, that's probably it for the day. Take a break there, try again tomorrow, come in with a fresh mindset. And then you'd make it back 3 times, 4 times the amount what you'd lost. So you're not bothered.
Yeah, because revenge trading is the death of traders. Like
Oh yeah.
You lose a trade and you're like, man, I'm gonna get it back by force. You want
Yeah.
to rip it back from the market, but the market ends up ripping you in half. It's like it like splits the logs. Like was the I don't know. I just came to mind. Chris Evans, Captain
Oh,
America. He chops logs. He
grabbed
doesn't
it
even.
before.
He doesn't even. He doesn't even use an axe. He's just like ah. That's what the market does to you if you revenge trade.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking, oh, what's the probability? What's the setup? You're just like, buy. It's going down. Then you enter the opposite. No, okay, I'll buy now. If it wants
Yeah.
psych, it goes the other way. So
Yeah.
protect your account. If you've lost for the day, limit yourself to how much you can lose per day. Just give yourself time to cool off and come back with a fresh mind the next day and like like he said, just follow your plan and you'll make back all your losses and go from there.
Hmm.
And do you find yourself sitting in front of the charts or do you more set alerts?
I like to do all my preparation on a weekend when the markets are closed. It allows you to have a review of the week behind that's just gone through. Obviously, you can any lost trades you can work out where you've gone wrong, and I like to plan ahead. So I like look at a weekly upcoming news events, plan ahead, and then usually set pending trades. The main reason why I'd learned start trading was to spend as little time on the charts. Obviously, that's the aim of the game, isn't it? At the end of the day, to have the freedom of time wherever you want to be, and that. So I've taught myself a system where I can spend very little time on the charts on a screen, so I can have the time to do what it is that I want to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, we're all striving for freedom, to be free, to have time to do whatever it is we want to do. Working a job until you die, who wants to do that?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if you're a trader, you have the opportunity to retire. Like you can literally retire at like 20, 30, like depending on how much success you find. Obviously there's those legends that are over here making millions, but
And
it,
it's
it takes time to reach that point. And so
yeah.
uh have you actually traded with any other prop firm before?
Yeah, so my very first account, funded account, was uh, who I work with now? Not FTMO. Who were the other one? I ended up going from Canada. What were the name now? Anyway, they weren't that good. They ended up going under some legal claims and stuff like that, and ended up going vanishing completely. So yeah, they couldn't have been that good of a company.
Yeah, definitely.
But then after them, I went on to FTMO, got myself a FTMO account, which were a good little start. And then I've pretty much just been with FTMO all this time, and then obviously now I'm with this one. So
And here's a hard question, but how many accounts have you blown?
well, my issue is, well, was to be fair, is I'd pass my account, I'd get my funded account, I'd then get greedy and then blow it. So I think in the 2 years that I've been getting funded accounts, I've probably blown between 10 to 15 probably in 2 years, which is nearly one every 3 months, something like that. Which it's not a proud achievement, but I've always managed to keep a funded account, if that makes sense. So I've never not been without one.
Yeah.
Just then when I get second and thirds, I always get too greedy and just end up ruining it. But it's one of those. I've got better, so I can't complain.
So what actually motivated you to become a funded trader instead of, maybe trying to grow a personal?
It's one of those. So obviously, the main reason everyone goes for a funded account is the bigger capital sizes. But For me, primarily, it was the managing of risk. Obviously, on a personal account, it's easy to over leverage and not have to really worry about how much you lose or how much you make, whatever like that. At the end of the day, it's your own money. If you lose it, you lose it. Whereas I find, obviously, with the funded accounts, they are strict with risk management. You can only lose so much a day. You can only lose so much in total. And I think with that, that's when you really learn to be precise with your risk management. Like I only like risking no more than 0.8% of the like daily total.
Mhm.
And obviously, so say for example, like with our the maximum daily percentage is 3%. So
Six
like
percent, I think.
6%. Yeah, sorry. That's so like risking no more that like between 0.5 and 0.8%, then I've got loads of trades leeway for if I do have a bad one. It's like that's fine. I've still got plenty of leeway to place a few more trades of risk free essentially.
Yeah, because essentially, if you're risking 1% of the actual account balance,
Mm.
you're only a few trades away from losing. If you follow that route, you lose 10, for example.
Yeah,
10%, or like 12%, I guess. That's the maximum drawdown that you're allowed. And
yeah,
if you risk 1% per trade, you can get a loss streak of 12. It's not that rare. Like I've seen 15, 20 trades in a row lost. Just like the market's not going, you should just at that point just enter the opposite of what you think. That's how it feels sometimes. Like everything you do, like, okay, if I have this idea, just go the opposite way because it's that unpredictable, like you were saying.
yeah,
Like, and so if you're risking how you were explaining it, if you risk only a small portion of the daily drawdown allowed, then you're really safe because you
yeah,
can lose so many trades in a row and you'll still be safe and not at risk for blowing your account by one
yeah,
of the rules. You can always just keep losing and losing and then lose it at the end of the day, but you won't break any of the rules that are actually on the account, which is
yeah,
that's the key. So many traders just over risk on one trade and they
yeah,
don't calculate the amount they're gonna lose and they end
yeah,
up going over the daily limit. Like it's there, it's obviously one of the most like crucial rules to follow, but
yeah,
then you're just not focused, you're not, the greed takes over and then
yeah,
you don't even know what amount you're risking at a certain time, and when the trade goes the opposite way, you end up breaching the account. So,
yeah, most definitely.
and what are some of your favorite pairs to trade?
um, so I like to trade all Great British Pound pairs. With it being local currency, it's easier to understand, especially with following news events and stuff like that. It's I also like to keep things small. I know a lot of people trade British pound, euros, New Zealand's, and I just think sometimes if you're over trading on too many pairs, and then when you've got multiple positions all going live at once, and then if they're all in drawdown, it's a stressful experience. I like to stick with Great British Pound, and I do a little bit on gold every now and then as well. Gold and silver, they usually correlate quite well with each other as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, all the GBP pairs, like something about the Brits, man. I love these Brits, man. These Brits, they just move the markets like beautifully. Like,
Yeah,
why would I want to trade some pair within 1 pip when I can trade GBP NZD or GBP Australian, and it's just like, to the moon and it's gone. So
yeah,
that's definitely one of the best pairs in the market. It's just follows everything that you need to see, and
yeah.
it's not that it's predictable. It's just it has good movement, so you can actually, capitalize on some pips without holding for 84 years. And when you do take a few losses in a row, like what do you do personally to come back from that?
Personally, I just take a break. whether it means I have to come away for a day or whether I have to come away for a week. I think it's one of those, once you've been doing the same system for a few years, there's no, and you know it works. It's not always worth going back and reevaluating. Sometimes it's just the market's just not going the way you're predicting it to. It is good to go back and have a look where you went wrong, or is it your entries are just too high or low, obviously, depending on which direction you go in. It is good to have a review on where they went wrong, but sometimes it's not always worth questioning what you're doing. Is it right or wrong? So I like to just go away for, as I say, a day or a couple, just take a breather, stop trading, stop looking at charts in general altogether, just do a bit of me time, and then come back into it, reevaluate, see what opportunities are coming up next. And it's one of those, if they start winning again, you start rewarding yourself and saying, right, I've got this again, let's crack back on.
And from what I've, garnered from this interview, would you say that you are more of a swing trader?
Yeah, I would say I'm more of a swing trader. Again, it's looking for those bigger rewards, but again, it's you're looking for long term, so you don't have to spend as much time on the charts and that as well. I mean, 30 pips a day keeps the doctor away, I always say. I mean, if you make 100 pips a day, it's a week's work, I'd say. There's no point overworking. You really need a month, essentially. That should keep you afloat, really.
And do you use any fundamentals in your strategy, or are you more focused on just technical analysis?
I do factor in fundamental. I like to use my FX book to look at upcoming news events, look at predictions of what the results that may be coming in figures wise, and then every now and then I will look at index charts as well, because they're good for getting a general direction of where other pairs could be going, leeway to that. But I'd say most of it's tech side, I'd say, primarily.
And would you mind giving us a quick insight into your strategy?
Yeah, of course I can. It's no issue whatsoever.
Sure, let's hop onto the charts.
No worries. So if we just take a look at Great British Pound New Zealand, so NZD, I am looking at the daily time frame, and I've noticed there's a massive drop, which would need a correction sorted out. So what I like to do is draw a fib from the top to the very bottom of the correction. And then what I like from there is I got a parallel price channel, go from the bottom and make its way up. And if you join the top of the parallel price channel, we can see that there is a nice lineup of the 50 fib alongside the price channel, which is also a round number of 1.97, if I remember correctly.
1.96. It's showing.
1.96, my apologies. But if also on daily, you can see it's where a previous daily candle also reached. So it's a good area, showing of previous support / resistance. It's a clear round number, and also using the price channel to push down from it. So entered this trade with a stop loss of 40 pips. This were to equate to cover previous highs, but then also counting the price channel, which would work as an extra resistance level to push it down. We are going for primarily a big TP of roughly 400-500 pips, so pretty much all the way back down to the bottom of the price channel. There we go. So yeah, it's a big risk reward management, plenty to come through. We have taken partial TP at 160 pips so far. And now we've taken partial TPs. We have stop loss entry at least, to make it a risk-free management trade, and letting it run from there. Really, that's my insight to British pound New Zealand of a clean trade that I've got going on at the moment.
Yeah, 170 pips. You can't complain at all, man. I mean, that's just beautiful. You know, I for something about GBP pairs and like their channels, uh, they make like the most beautiful channels you'll ever see in your life. Like seriously, just looking at some of these, like that channel, it just moves like in such a beautiful manner. Like all of these different channels, it just keeps moving. So if you buy up, sell down, buy up, sell down, like you're catching hundreds of pips per direction. So
Yeah.
it's a really nice pair to trade. But what kind of win rate are you looking at, like on average, with a strategy like this?
So to be fair, I did a quick breakdown of this year so far, like first quarter, and my win rates at the moment, on all my trades so far this year, I'm running at about roughly 86.7% win rate, and that's with having a minimum of 30 pips profit. That's again including losses as well. So for at least a guaranteed of 30 pips, I'm at a win rate of 85 plus, shall we say, win rate.
85%? Or
Yeah.
I thought you said 8.5%. I'm like, bro, oh, that's not a good win rate. I was like, you better be capturing 1 million pips for 8.5%. Oh my goodness. No, but 85 or 60 to around 80 if you're targeting at least 30 pips, and then anywhere more than that, it just depends what the market gives you. Oftentimes
Yeah.
it just goes back to break even, but you have your 30 pips already. But if
Yeah.
it keeps continuing, this is a risk to reward of like 1 to 9 almost. So if it just drops down right there, 1 to 9, drops down
Mm.
450 pips, you have a 1 to 9. So then you can lose 9 trades in a row until you come back to break even. And so I know you said you target like 30 pips at least, but what is your average risk to reward look like? Since you're a swing trader, most swing traders are anywhere from 10 to like 20 risk to
Um,
reward.
I don't think I have crazy risk rewards. I think it usually comes in at about 6 or 7, to be fair. Um, it's it's one of those. I don't usually go that crazy with it. To be fair, my biggest trade to date was GN, which were catching that downfall of 1,000 pips.
Mm,
um, from a double top. That was probably my biggest rewarding trade to date. But yeah, usually between 6 or 8 risk reward is what I go for on most pairs. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can't beat that as long as you just keep consistent. Who doesn't want 6 times what they risk? Like, come on, there's nothing to explain there or think about.
Mm,
You can always count on 6 to 8 times whatever you risk to grow your account. As long as you're winning and you have that good of a risk to reward, that's beautiful.
yeah, most definitely.
And so, with that being said, for the strategy, let's get off of the charts, and I'll ask you one more question to conclude the interview.
No worries.
And so, long term, what do you believe the funded trader will do for the industry?
Well, I honestly think that a funded trader will. I think it's going to make other prop firms look at what they're doing and how they can improve. Um, and it won't surprise me if the funded trader come in by force soon enough. It's more people are going to hear about it, more people are going to want it, the opportunities that they give, the experiences that they give, uh, the reward you can get, like upscaling your accounts. It's going to be making people leave a lot of other prop firms, realizing that there is much more opportunity with this. So no doubt about it, Fund Trader will come in with force soon enough.
Yeah, because the monster accounts available, you know, there's the rapid where you can passive fund it and be funded within days, you know. So all these amazing traders out there, they're seeing this for the first time and they're like, I can be funded within like 4 days. I don't have to wait 2 months until I can finally, you know, cash out a trade. Like that's something that hasn't been around, you know, zero minimum trading days. That's like one of the newest, I would say, advancements in the prop industry. And
Yeah.
not to mention all the giveaways, just the community, you know, the funded trader is moving up, and honestly, just by force, by any means necessary, we're gonna come for that number 1 spot.
Oh yes.
So with that being said, everyone, thank you for watching this amazing interview. It was a pleasure to meet you and just talk about everything we discussed today, truly. And make sure you leave a like and subscribe and leave some support for our British mastermind over here, because, you know, if he's taking these trades, you know, he alone is increasing the the productivity of his country. But thank you all for watching and tune in next time. Goodbye.